Krishna is a major deity in Hinduism, is widely revered across various cultural and religious traditions in India and beyond. His life and teachings are central to several major texts, including the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita, the Harivamsa, and the Srimad Bhagavatam. Below is an extensive biography of Krishna, woven together from various sources and traditions. Early life of Krishna was as follows. Krishna was born to Devaki and Vasudeva in the city of Mathura, which was under the rule of the tyrannical king Kamsa. Kamsa was informed by a divine prophecy that Devaki's eighth child would be his downfall. Terrified by this prophecy, Kamsa imprisoned Devaki and Vasudeva and killed 6 of their children soon after birth. However, when Krishna was born, divine intervention ensured that Vasudeva could smuggle the infant out of the prison and deliver him to the safe care of his foster parents, Nanda and Yashoda, in Gokul. Krishna grew up in the pastoral setting of Gokul and Vrindavan, where he was adored by all for his divine charm and playful exploits. His childhood is full of miraculous events, such as the slaying of the demoness Putana, the subjugation of the serpent Kaliya, and the lifting of Mount Govardhana to protect the villagers from a devastating storm. These stories, found in texts like the Bhagavata Purana, emphasize Krishna's role as a protector of his devotees and as a divine being who is beyond the ordinary. Krishna's youth is especially celebrated in Hindu lore for his playful, mischievous nature and his deep love for the gopis, milkmaids, of Vrindavan, particularly Radha. The Ras Leela, a dance that Krishna performed with the gopis, is symbolic of the divine love between the individual soul and the Supreme Being. Radha, often considered the embodiment of pure devotion, is eternally associated with Krishna, and their relationship is a central theme in the Bhakti movement, which emphasizes loving devotion to God. Krishna's love for butter and his playful thefts from the homes of the gopis also symbolize his ability to transcend conventional moral boundaries, emphasizing that divine love is beyond the comprehension of ordinary human morality. His flute, with which he enchanted the entire village of Vrindavan, became a symbol of divine music, drawing the soul towards the divine. Returned to Mathura and the defeat of Kamsa, as Krishna grew older, he left Vrindavan and returned to Mathura to fulfill his destiny. He defeated and killed Kamsa, thus liberating his parents and the people of Mathura from tyranny. After this, Krishna established himself in Dwaraka, a fortified city he built on the western coast of India, where he ruled as king. During this period, Krishna played a pivotal role in the Mahabharata, a great Indian epic that encapsulates the struggles of the Pandavas and the Kauravas, 2 groups of cousins fighting for the throne of Hastinapura.
Krishna's role in the Mahabharata is multifaceted. He is the charioteer and guide of Arjuna, the 3rd Pandava, during the great battle of Kurukshetra. It is during this battle that Krishna delivers the Bhagavad Gita, one of the most important spiritual texts in Hinduism. In the Gita, Krishna explains the concepts of dharma, duty, karma, action, and bhakti, devotion, to Arjuna, who is confused and morally troubled about fighting in the war. The Bhagavad Gita is considered a philosophical and theological classic, presenting the essence of the Vedic teachings. It expounds on the nature of the self, the universe, and the supreme reality, with Krishna urging Arjuna to act according to his dharma without attachment to the fruits of his actions. Krishna's teachings in the Gita have influenced countless spiritual traditions and have been interpreted in various ways by scholars and practitioners throughout history. Later life and legacy of Krishna is as follows. After the Kurukshetra war, Krishna returned to Dwaraka, where he spent the remainder of his life. According to some traditions, his later years were marked by the curse of Gandhari, the mother of the Kauravas, who blamed Krishna for the destruction of her sons in the war. This curse is said to have led to the destruction of the Yadava dynasty, Krishna's own clan, in a fratricidal conflict. Krishna's death is also surrounded by mythological narratives. It is said that Krishna was accidentally shot by a hunter named Jara, who mistook his foot for a deer. This event marks the end of the Dwapara Yuga and the beginning of the Kali Yuga, the current age in Hindu cosmology. Krishna's legacy is vast and multifaceted. He is worshipped in various forms across different sects and regions. In Vaishnavism, he is considered the supreme personality of Godhead, and his various incarnations and forms are revered with deep devotion. In art, literature, music, and dance, Krishna's life and exploits have inspired countless works, from classical paintings and sculptures to contemporary popular culture. Krishna's life and teachings continue to inspire millions of people around the world. He is not only a central figure in Hinduism, but also a symbol of divine love, duty, and wisdom. Whether as the playful child of Vrindavan, the wise charioteer of the Mahabharata, or the cosmic deity of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's presence in the cultural and spiritual landscape is profound and enduring. His message of love, compassion, and duty transcends time and continues to resonate with spiritual seekers and devotees alike.
Krishna's theological significance in Hinduism is immense and complex, reflecting his multifaceted nature as a deity. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna reveals himself as the ultimate reality, Brahman, the source of all existence, and the personal God who resides within every being. This makes him a central figure not only in the bhakti, devotional tradition, but also in the philosophical schools of Vedanta, where he is seen as the embodiment of divine wisdom and cosmic order. Krishna's divine play Leela in Vrindavan, his guidance to Arjuna in the Mahabharata, and his role as the king of Dwaraka represent different aspects of his personality and teachings. These various roles have been interpreted in different ways by theologians and philosophers, who see in Krishna a model for living a life of righteousness, love, and spiritual fulfillment. Krishna's life and teachings had a profound influence on the Bhakti movement, which began in South India during the early medieval period and later spread throughout the subcontinent. The Bhakti movement emphasized personal devotion to a deity as the most important aspect of spiritual life, rejecting the rigid ritualism and caste hierarchies that had dominated Hindu society. Devotees of Krishna, such as the Alvars and the later poet saints like Mirabai, Surdas, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, composed songs and poems in praise of Krishna, expressing their deep love and longing for union with him. In the Bhakti tradition, Krishna is often portrayed as the lover of the soul, and his relationship with Radha is symbolic of the soul's relationship with God. This theme of divine love, known as Madhurya Bhava, became central to the worship of Krishna in regions like Bengal, Rajasthan, and Maharashtra, where it inspired a rich tradition of devotional poetry, music, and dance. Krishna is depicted in various forms and poses in Hindu art, each symbolizing different aspects of his character. The most common depiction is of a youthful Krishna playing the flute, surrounded by cows and gopis, symbolizing his role as the divine cowherd and the enchanter of souls. This image, known as the Venugopala form, is popular in temples and homes across India. Another significant form is the Bhagavad Gita Krishna, where he is depicted as the charioteer of Arjuna, holding the reins of the horses and delivering the divine discourse. This form emphasizes his role as a guide and teacher, leading souls on the path of righteousness. In South India, Krishna is worshipped as the child deity, Bala Krishna, or the butter thief Navanitha Krishna, emphasizing his playful and mischievous nature. Temples dedicated to Krishna can be found all over India, with major centers of worship in places like Mathura, Vrindavan, Dwaraka, Puri, and Guruvayur.
Krishna is celebrated through numerous festivals and rituals, with Janmashtami being the most important. Janmashtami marks the birth of Krishna and is celebrated with great devotion and enthusiasm, particularly in Mathura and Vrindavan, where devotees reenact scenes from Krishna's early life. The festival is characterized by fasting, singing, dancing, and the reenactment of Krishna's divine pastimes, culminating in the midnight celebration of his birth. Another significant festival is Holi, the festival of colors, which is closely associated with Krishna's playful activities with the gopis in Vrindavan. During Holi, people throw colored powders at each other, sing and dance, symbolizing the joy and vibrancy of life, and remembering the divine love between Krishna and Radha. In regions like Bengal, Odisha, and Assam, the festival of Rasa Leela is performed with great fervor, where dramatic enactments of Krishna's life, particularly his dances with the gopis, are staged. These performances often combine dance, music, and dialogue, creating a rich cultural and religious experience. Krishna's influence extends beyond Hinduism and can be seen in various other religious and cultural traditions. In Jainism, Krishna is recognized as one of the 9 Vasudevas, a group of heroic figures. In Buddhism, some early texts reference a deity named Vasudeva, or Kanha, which scholars believe may be a reference to Krishna. Krishna's life and teachings have also inspired literature and art beyond the Indian subcontinent. The 19th and 20th centuries saw a surge in interest in Krishna in the West, particularly through the works of authors and poets like Ralph Waldo Emerson, Henry David Thoreau, and Aldous Huxley. The Bhagavad Gita, translated into numerous languages, became a key text for Western spiritual seekers, philosophers, and even political leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, who considered it his spiritual dictionary. In modern times, Krishna's teachings have been popularized globally by movements such as the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, founded by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada in the 1960s, known as the Hare Krishna movement, has established temples, educational centers, and communities around the world, spreading the practice of bhakti yoga and the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra as a means of achieving spiritual enlightenment and developing a personal relationship with Krishna. Krishna is a living presence in the hearts of millions of devotees. His life, teachings, and the spiritual traditions that have grown around him continue to offer guidance and inspiration in an ever-changing world. Whether as the playful child of Vrindavan, the wise guide of the Bhagavad Gita, or the divine lover of Radha, Krishna embodies the eternal truths of love, devotion, and the unity of all beings in the divine. His legacy, deeply rooted in ancient traditions, continues to evolve, reflecting the timeless relevance of his message.